Welcome to Case for Support in Building Relationships. This training will help you be more prepared to talk with your clubs and donors about Sertoma. It is our goal to help you, as a mission specialist, build better relationships so that ultimately you will be able to raise more funds to support Sertoma's mission and programs. The case statement is the one definitive piece of the whole campaign. It tells all that needs to be told, answers all the important questions, reviews the arguments for support, explains the proposed plan for raising money, and shows how gifts may be made and who the people are who vouch for the project and who will give it leadership and direction. What better way to start out this training than with this quote, as it encompasses much of what we want to do in today's training session. The title Case for Support is a big way of saying that we are defining what we do. What is the need you are filling, why you are doing it, how you're going to fulfill that need, and what outcomes it should produce. You need to ask who benefits from what we're doing and how they benefit. Remember, the bigger the donation you are seeking, the more time and work you will need to spend preparing and building the relationship before you make the ask. The steps you take will likely be the same for early bird club or sponsor level gifts, but the amount of time you spend in research and building the relationship may be shorter for things like a club or fellow level gift. So why do you do what you do? What is the need you're fulfilling? These are important questions that you should be able to talk about openly, clearly, directly, and without a script. It's important to understand and thoroughly know your cause and beneficiary. Let's look specifically at Sertoma. As stated by our mission, we are dedicated to hearing health. But why do we do it? We do it for the 50 million Americans who suffer from some kind of hearing loss. We do it because 90% of noise-induced hearing loss is preventable. We do it because children with hearing loss, if not detected and addressed, will fall behind in learning and development. We do it for the adults who could lose their jobs, face isolation, and experience other long-term effects like dementia. The list could go on and on. Now let's think about strategy. In fundraising, your strategies are based on how you do what you do and finding or providing the solution to the need. With Sertoma, our strategies are found in programs like Safe Ears, Sound Investment, scholarships, and Adopt an Agency. A Sound Investment provides awareness about hearing loops in public spaces. This program helps people in the community advocate for induction loops in spaces where public address systems are used, like churches, auditoriums, and theaters. Adopt an Agency is our program for nonprofit hearing health organizations. It is through this program that we offer our community and professional education grants. Sertoma's scholarship programs help with higher education expenses for deaf and hard of hearing undergraduate students, as well as graduate students studying audiology or speech pathology. Finally, Safe Ears is a prevention program for noise-induced hearing loss. Presented at schools, workplaces, health fairs, and community events, this education program strives to help young people and adults understand this critical problem and its solutions. When you put the who, what, why, and how together, you have your case for support. And by knowing your project inside and out, you can speak more succinctly about what you're asking for and why it's important to give. For example, rather than saying we are raising funds to support the Boys and Girls Club, you might say we are raising funds to help build the Boys and Girls Club a new meeting hall so that more children can participate in and benefit from their programs and services. Or rather than saying Sertoma raises money to help support America's hearing health, you can say we are raising funds to help deaf and hard of hearing students attend college, educate more audiologists, and build stronger hearing health organizations across the country. How would you answer the question, what does Sertoma do to meet its mission? On to donors. Who are they? First, we have clubs. They need to know about the programs Sertoma does nationally, but it's also important to make it local when you can. Let them know if there have been scholarship or grant recipients in their state recently. And if not, educate them about how these programs can help bring annual fund money back to their community. With your individual donors, the approach is a little more custom. You need to find out which programs they are most interested in supporting. Outside donors may prefer a more comprehensive appeal that highlights everything that Sertoma does. Oftentimes, you won't have to hard sell them because they want to help support your cause, just as you have supported them in the past. Building fundraising relationships. When it comes to working with your donors, meeting expectations is key. Most donors expect a thank you and a report on how the money was used. Sertoma does this nationally with written thank you notes. We let people know about our funding programs in the Sertoman magazine, emails, and social media. We also award pins and tabs for levels of giving. However, recognition doesn't stop with headquarters. As a mission specialist, you have a stronger, closer relationship with many of your donors. We encourage you to thank your donors and to let them know that their gift is helping others. Don't let the only time they hear from you be when you're asking for a donation. It's all about building a genuine and long-lasting connection. There are many tools that will help you prepare to make your ask. First is the letter of inquiry, which expresses what cause you would like funding for, what your project entails, and why you're doing it. This is a good tool to have to either send or leave with a donor when making an ask. This one-page document should outline who, what, why, how, and outcomes, basically your cause for support. We've included here many other tools that donors may request, especially when working with foundations and businesses. Let Sertoma's staff know if you have any questions about finding these resources. At this point, you should be thinking about what your donors get in return. Of course, there are those intrinsic benefits, such as supporting the community and helping people in need. However, what about the tangible benefits? This might include things like VIP tickets, free registration, sponsor recognition, naming rights, and more. These benefits can help you determine how you're going to make your ask. If it is something simple, like giving free tickets or putting a name on a program, you might make your request first through a letter. However, a bigger sponsorship can take several conversations as you negotiate the amount, the type of recognition, and so on. And with grants, the process can be even more extensive, requiring letters, applications, and other documentation. In any case, make sure your communications address the funder's interest. What should they get excited about? How will their gift make someone's life better? You've made your ask, so what do you do when they say yes? If you get their commitment, make sure you follow through with what you have agreed upon for recognition, that you get the check sent into the office quickly, and that you thank them for the gift. The more personal and genuine you can be in working with them, the better the chance you have to expand this initial gift to longer-term giving or an introduction to another person or company willing to give. This is how you grow contacts and relationships. But we're not always going to be successful the first time, are we? Just because someone says no, it's not the end of the relationship. You may need to spend some more time getting to know each other better. If so, consider inviting them to an upcoming event or a volunteer project your club is working on. And maybe the timing just isn't right. Maybe next year is a better fit for them to give. Stay in contact regularly with updates about your programs and genuine touch points that really speak to their interest in giving. As we close out today's training, here are a few key points to remember. Know your projects thoroughly so that communications become second nature. Know who is benefiting, why you're doing it, and your expected outcomes. Know the people you're asking. Take the time to do your research and get to know them. Spend time building the relationship. Know your donors' expectations for follow-up and make sure to meet them. This is important to fostering lifelong giving. Don't forget that Sertoma staff is there to help. You can reach them using the contact information on the screen. You can also find additional resources and information on the Sertoma website at sertoma.org.